Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the top 10 teams for the Master League, and especially the Master League Classic version, because I don't have the money for the XL version of this league. But we're going to take a look at the top 10 teams, and we're going to go right into the teams. Of course, if you like this video at one point and you have a team that you like to run and you get inspired by this video, leave a like. It would help me way more than you think. And let's get right into the teams. Team number 1 gonna be the team that got me to Legend last season. It's gonna be the Zerut in the lead. We have Landorus Therian form. Usually as a say swap here, you can also use the other Landorus form. I like the Therian form a little bit more. I have this build as well, but it depends on what you really like. And then we have the Excadrill in the back. Excadrill gonna be your sweeper-ish, like your closer in this team. This team got me to Legend last season. I had a crazy run with this team. I got to the leaderboards to like rank 30 or something with this team. It was amazing, and like the meta didn't really change as much during the time here, so I will think this team gonna be still amazing. Definitely gonna give it a try as well. But yeah, Zerut is a new Pokemon that you definitely have to look out for, and this team in general should destroy a lot of things. But yeah, you see in general right now we have like also gifts on the left side, and we also have like multiple options when I have some for you, which I'm gonna just add on to the teams that we have. We have like some teams where have like multiple options what you can run. But yeah, I really enjoyed this team. You can also run, instead of the Root, most likely Giratina Origin in the lead if you want to, or Yveltal. Yveltal gives you a little bit less of like, I don't know, less of a good matchup against Kyogre, but other than that, like, it should be also fine. But I really enjoyed this team. Like in general, I went to Legend with this team. It's such a good team. In the second team, we're going to have Kyogre in the lead. We have Dialga or Zacian as a say swap. Both are fine with this team. I would recommend you Dialga a little bit more than Zacian, but both are totally fine. I think Zacian also definitely has a lot of play. Then you have basically a double fairy team there. And you have the Togekiss in the back. Why you want to have Dialga or Zacian as a say swap here is you kind of want to get out the counter for the Togekiss, which is most of the time something like an Excadrill, something like a Melmetal, or something that you really rather want to have on the say swap there in general. And this way I think is Dialga a little bit better. Dialga is a little bit better at getting those Pokemon out of the way and still having some play to get some shields, for example. Like still a Melmetal against Dialga matchup is not the best, but you have like one of the hardest counter to those Melmetals, and especially Excadrill in the lead, which is gonna be the Kyogre, which just can farm all the way down. And this is definitely a team I'm gonna try out as well during the season. I finally got a 100% Kyogre, so you're definitely gonna see a video about Kyogre on my channel, and definitely check this out when it comes out. But this team looks really solid, and Togekiss in the back is such a cheap Pokemon that you can get, and it's still so viable in the league, as you can see as well. Team number 3 is also a team I can highly recommend to you, because I played this team last season as well, and the idea behind this team is also really cool again. It has some issues with something like Excadrill or Melmetal sometimes. So yeah, still you have Ho-Oh in the lead, which is the hardest counter to all the fairy types in the meta, and you have 2 dragons in the back. It's not something that is like rocket science or anything like this. You have the Steel Dragon with Dialga as a save swap here, so basically usually they want to avoid the Ho-Oh, they swap into your Dialga. You still have the Iron Head, so you can get some shields. Maybe you won't win the matchup, but you get shield advantage, and this is like way more important, because then what's gonna happen, like either the fairy type on the opponent's part is like very low already, and you can farm down with the Ho-Oh and get some shields afterwards back again, or like in general you have like the bag free for your other dragons in the back that can deal with it. I think the Giratina Origin is a little bit better than the Zekrom in this team, but you can still play a Zekrom in the back. The Zekrom just got basically released in raids and it's kind of fresh. I'm definitely going to showcase this Pokemon as well soon. But this team definitely still works pretty well. In general, it's like Dialga as the fairy type trap, so your other Pokemon in the back doesn't have to face that, while you have the hardest fairy type counter in the lead. And in general, Ho is a little bit underrated still. Like this thing just is crazy. You saw my Great League video about Ho, maybe where I got to the leaderboards. This thing is just, it hits like crazy. Like such a good Pokemon. The next team is about a typing that you rarely already see in the Master League, and it's gonna be about some fighting types here. We have Machamp, we have Conkeldurr. You can use either of them. I like Conkeldurr a little bit more because of the extra bulk and the better stat product, but Machamp is a little bit better attacks because it has Rock Slide, which can, for example, KO the Ho-Oh way easier than the Stone Edge from the Conkeldurr, because you just get there faster. And yeah, we have the normal combination which has been in the Master League for ages with the Dialga in the lead and the Mewtwo as a safe swap that's like been there forever. And yeah, then you have like another fighting type in the back. Usually Dialga doesn't like to face those other steel types like Excadrill and the Metal. So you have a safe swap and you have something in the back that can deal with those steel types. It's a simple team. Kinda does make sense. I played this team last time as well. I didn't have like crazy results. I still went positive with this team, so it's definitely something that you can try and use. I don't play it always like for like 3-4 sets or something, but definitely a team that I went positive with and definitely fine. I like the Zero team a little bit more, but I think this team might even beat the Zero team really hard because the Root has literally no play against this team other than Mewtwo. If he's in the lead against the Dialga, it will never really face that. The next team is a team that has been around for ages as well, basically like this, but we have the Dragonite in the lead, we have the Metal and the Excadrill in the back. Here we have like a team where I don't have to ride for. Metal you can get from those boxes, so you don't really have to pay anything for this if you cannot do raids because you don't have people around you, you don't do like remote raids or whatever. Like, here's a team for you. You can play something like the Dialga instead as well, for example the Excadrill, but then I would put the Metal in the lead. That's something that you can also play. And this is a very, I don't know, like not common team, but it's a team that you can use. The cool thing about like the combination between the Dragonite and the Excadrill is that they are like basically a perfect match. Like you can counter everything which the Excadrill doesn't really want to face with the Dragonite and vice versa. But you have to get, of course, into the right situation. And Metal as a safe swap here kinda gets out usually the Kyogre, for example, which you don't want to face with the Excadrill, and the fighting type possible, or anything like this that you don't really want to face there. So it's definitely a cool team. I really like the combination between the Excadrill and the Dragonite. Dragonite is a little bit underrated anyway because it can counter something like Kyogre and Groudon, which is cool. But yeah, this is definitely a very cool team as well. Team number 6 gonna be Excadrill again in the lead with the Giratina Origin in the back. Something similar like the matchup I said before already with the Dragonite and the Excadrill. Here it's like a little bit split around. It's not as good on paper, at least on the matchups, but Giratina Origin has some more matchup that it wins, which Dragonite wouldn't do. But for example, something like ground types are like not the best option now for either. But you still have something like, for example, the Lugia as a safe swap here, or the Mewtwo, whatever you want to run there. And the main goal with this team is you have a ghost type in the back that doesn't really want to face a Yveltal. So you have something in the lead that can kind of counter that with the rock side of the Excadrill. And you have some safe swap that can bring that out basically and still do some damage. I would maybe even recommend you running Ice Beam on the Mewtwo, which does a lot of damage to Yveltal already, and you can get them actually to use like shields as well then. So I always really like to run Ice Beam on Mewtwo. I don't know, it's still like the best play there, but I like that. You can also run the Lugia. Lugia is just a generalist, like there's nothing that really hard counters Lugia. Even the Metal, for example, wouldn't completely destroy Lugia because Lugia is just so bulky and can hit so hard. Team number 7 I just had to change up a little bit because my team that I actually had here would have been the Dragonite, Snorlax safe swap, and the Excadrill in the back. But this is basically the same team I had in Team 5, but I had just a different safe swap. Yeah, in Team 5 you could also just run Snorlax as a safe swap, but here we do have a different team with the Garchomp in the lead. We have the safe swap-ish, the Metagross and the Dialga, and we have Togekiss in the back. Yeah, like a little bit of a problem for this team. By the way, we have Mudshot on the Garchomp, but a little bit of a problem for this team would be, for example, a Lugia lead, because it's like hard counter to you, and like also the Togekiss cannot always do something, but it should be also fine. I think Metagross is a little bit underrated in the meta in general. Like Metagross can hit nearly everything hard. I think there's only like the biggest counter to it maybe might be Kyogre, and that's it. And Excadrill. Excadrill is also like, Excadrill is horrible for you, but you have like the best answer in the lead for an Excadrill. That's also why you're on Mudshot there. And also I would even say you could actually consider running triple ground on the Garchomp with Mudshot, the Sand Tomb, and the Earth Power. But yeah, alternative, you can also run the Dialga as a sales swap again if you have this. And then you have Togekiss in the back. And Togekiss is, again, very, very strong in the back. In general, very, very good Pokemon. If you don't have an answer for Charm, you know what's gonna happen anyway. Everybody gonna just go down. Team number 8 here, we have Zacian in the lead. We have as a sales swap the Landorus. Again, you can use either version you have. I like the Ethereum form a little bit more, but both of them are fine. And you have Dialga in the back. Again, basically kinda decent in general. Like you have, like if you have a Steel type in the lead, you can swap out into the Landorus and you have a decent answer. But the thing about this team is you run Wild Charge and Close Combat on the Zacian, because this thing can just debuff itself and go to the next hardest counter, like just go into the stage swap. Then, like for example, if you have a Steel type in the lead against you, you can just go for one Close Combat, swap out into your Landorus, and you're fine. You have again non-debuffed Pokemon. You have at least a shield or destroyed already the Steel type from the opponent on the lead. And you have a decent matchup again in like Landorus, especially the Ethereum form has so much, like in general, like put so much pressure on your opponent because every hit does so much damage. Landorus Ethereum has basically the same attack as a Mewtwo, by the way, if you didn't know that. So this thing just hits hard like crazy, and then you have the Dialga on the back, it's just like decent closer again, like nothing too special. You have two Pokemon that can already answer like Steel types that you don't really want to face, and also against Fairy types you're pretty okay. Especially with Wild Charge, because Wild Charge can hit Togekiss super effective, which is also a nice plus about this. Usually I would recommend you running Play Rough. You can still run Play Rough with this team, and I think Wild Charge is in the lead a little bit better. This team here, you can also play with Excadrill in the lead, but yeah, you can also just use the team that I exactly show you here right now. We have not the Excadrill, the Mammal in the lead now. We have the Lugia sales swap and the Yveltal in the back. Pretty much you kind of want to get out the counters for those flying types with the Lugia sales swap again. You have Melmetal or the Excadrill in the lead that can counter those counters to flying types again. So pretty simple team, has been around for ages. And very predictable, but also very, very strong. I always hate to come up against this double flyer backline. It always destroys me. I don't like Excadrill, I don't like the Melmetal, I don't like the flyers in the back. They're all really, really awkward to play against. I think you can also even play this team a little bit differently by going with the Yveltal as a sales swap and the Lugia in the back. Both of them are like totally fine. Actually, like this team is very versatile and you can play them in many different ways. And finally, into the last team, we're gonna have the Giratina, we have the Ho-Oh and the Mamoswine. Yeah, I kind of want to just make a video about the Mamoswine in general, or like a team around the Mamoswine. I might actually do a video as well. But yeah, Mamoswine is like one of those Pokemon that you not really expect, but is so good. Like it basically beats nearly everything in the meta. If you have it in the right scenario, it has like coverage against nearly everything that's good, like ice and ground together. Such a nice coverage, and it's so threatening. Here you have the Ho as a sales swap. You kind of need to get out the Kyogre if they have one in the back. Ho as a sales swap basically guarantees you to get a shield. Like what really wants to get into a Ho without like you getting a shield from that? I can't really think about anything, or you even get like the switch advantage back into shields. And we have the Giratina in the lead, which is also pretty solid, and together with the Mamoswine, a nice core. One really big problem for this team is Palkia. Palkia is something where you have a hard time dealing with it, but I haven't seen a lot of Palkias last time around, so I don't think it's that big of a problem, but maybe it will be, who knows. But anyway, this is gonna be it for the video. Thanks all for watching. If you leave a like, I would appreciate that. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Also, let me know please in the comments how you find the new format of this, like with gifs and everything. And this is gonna be it for this video, so bye.